Good morning, good morning, good morning, lovely people. Welcome to the channel. I'm Dave Keeffe, and I've got 3 bits of exciting information for you. Well, when I say exciting, I think probably what you should do is keep your expectations really, really low. First off, you'll notice a difference with my customary introduction to the video, and that's because the channel has had a name change. If you look below this video, just about there, you'll notice that we've changed from Avernus Biker Lifestyle to simply ABL Reselling. Now, for those of you that have been following this channel since the early days, you'll know the reason that it was called Avernus Biker Lifestyle is because I'm a biker, and reselling funds that biker lifestyle. But my mission with this channel is to help people with their reselling journey. And for me to be able to do that, I need to appeal to the widest possible audience and make that audience relatable. So I can understand how the channel's former title was a little bit confusing, but hopefully that shall mop it up. Second bit of exciting, not so exciting news. We have a new reselling chariot. It's a bit dark outside. I was going to go and show you around it. I mean, it's not that exciting to be fair, but I'll stick a picture or a couple of pictures of it up on screen so you can have a look at it. I call it graduating, but today I've been using a Mondeo Estate, so I've kind of upgraded, if you like, to a van. Bit of a double purpose, this one, because it's going to be kitted out as a day van as well, so I can get away for weekends when resellers ever have weekends off. But hey, we live in hope. Thirdly, and probably the least interesting of these interesting facts, is you'll notice behind me a distinct lack of racking with jackets on. For those of you this is new information too, I picked up a bundle of 130 high quality jackets, mostly sort of like denim blazers and the like, and it's taken me getting on 2.5 weeks to list them all. So the racking is collapsed down in the corner. That will be forming part of my new workroom, which I'm going to start on hopefully next week, and of course I'll clue you in with the development of that. But all those 130 jackets are in those boxes at the moment. So now that you're up to date, welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. I'm Dave Keeffe, and this is ABL Reselling. What this channel is all about is reselling to fund your lifestyle. I'm a full-time UK reseller, and what that means is I buy items, mostly pre-loved, from car boot sales, charity shops, online auctions, physical auctions, and the like, and sell them online to make a profit, and that's how I make a full-time living. Now, it's Wednesday morning, and there's one thing I do love to do on a Wednesday morning is go to a car boot sale over in Yorkshire. So I'm going to take you guys on a ride along to the lovely Fitzwilliam car boot sale, my favourite haunt of a Wednesday, and see what we can find. Let's hit the road. Down we have landed. It's threatening a bit of rain this morning. I can feel a bit in the air. Let's give you a quick tour around the new jalopy. This is her. It's actually quite tidy for its age, and I've already made it a bloody mess, but picked up a cheeky little leather sofa bed over the weekend, which is the first step in converting this into a day van. Right, anyway, that's enough of that. Let's get in the field.
The £3 each.
Yeah, okay.
No.
Oh.
Just have a look at those trainers, like the big
football
please.
boots.
Yeah, thank you. How much have you got on them?
5. They haven't been worn outside of the house.
Yeah.
They said they're fitted until it came to playing in them.
Probably worth a £5. Thanks, lovely. Thank you, cheers. How much is your Duplo?
Summer, Duplo.
Oh, 20 for that.
15?
No. A lot bigger than that.
And how about this one?
That one's 15.
That one, Tommy?
Or £10 each, or both 15.
What's that?
Right, I'll do that. Stay. Here you go. Cheers, man. Thank you.
Right, looks cute.
How much you got on that, love?
How much you want for your gingerbread, man? Pound. Just a pound.
Bargain. I'm try and get this one without damaging it this week. Thank you, lovely.
Oops.
Oh, so glad that wasn't breakable.
Yeah,
Thank you very
cheers,
much.
love tart. Right, here's what.
I think they're size 8s.
Smashing. How much are the boots?
6?
5? It's close enough, isn't it? Let's see what we got here as well. And how much is the router?
I think he said 15.
Yeah. It's in good, isn't it? It doesn't look like it's had a lot of use.
Not a lot.
There we are, flour. Thank you very much. That's for the boots.
Oh,
Sorry, yeah.
Nice. Good job you said that. Not bad, all right.
Random people throwing money at you. How much are your pans worth?
Tenner each, my friend.
Yeah, somewhere.
Are these the only ones you've got?
Yeah, I think I've got a frying pan in there, green. I think.
Yeah, yeah. Is it handy?
Went down to some smart.
You do 25 for 3?
Yeah, you can do, yeah.
Yeah. I'm assuming it's in good nick. Right, I'm assuming the frying pan's in good nick.
Yeah, it's alright, yeah. Frying pan, right.
Spot on, cheers, man. No, I'm going to kick myself. Would you do a £5 for that one? It's a bit tight.
£7.
No, he never got there.
I don't know if it'll clean up. Well,
That ain't cleaning up.
Anyway, send me a message at the beginning of the week.
yeah, I got it £5 a month.
I looked on track.
Nice one, cheers, man.
Not happy. Been up and down this side.
4 of them. 30 quid for them.
I'll
Oh, cheers, man, thank you.
White ones.
Ah, right, these are ladies, these. They're ladies. Yeah. Thank you. They're good, right.
Is that your
Yeah,
baptised on
it's
those?
my dad's. Who,
Yeah,
it's my
nice.
dad who
How much per
wants
shot?
it.
Oh, I'll do a tenner for that. Oh, you're a good one, thank you. Not paying anybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you get that Jason Robinson thing as well?
Jason Robinson thing?
No. That little... No, Mum. Oh.
No. You've got me intrigued now, what is it? Thank you.
That like bobble, it was like a bobblehead thing.
All right. No, no. Thank you, have a good day, ladies.
You need to give me some ring together.
I can't give you no room, Mama.
No, I can't.
Come see.
That works perfect, mate.
How much you got on it?
25, just give us 25 for that. I was asking 30, but
Yeah.
it 100% works.
Nice.
All underneath.
Oh, you're joking.
No.
Landed on there
Need
then.
some work,
Yeah,
but they're
yeah.
not that bad.
Well, one of the ones I picked up.
That white one's worth it.
Is it?
The lidded, yeah.
Ah.
I've got a bottom to an orange,
Yeah.
no top.
No.
What have you got now, Paul?
80.
Oh, I don't know, are you? How are you, sir?
That's wired up to both connection foot batteries. If you don't want to put it joined one battery, you use two 3P9.
I've still got the last one I bought off you, but I did well off the Amstrad. Yeah, I got an Amstrad one off you.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'm going to say I don't think I've had an Acca before. It makes me wonder where they get their prices from. So when you see it, some of them on eBay.
I think I've got my Acca radio on for about 40 quid on
What's
eBay.
that?
The Acca radio.
40 quid.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's cheap then. That.
Yeah. It's still hanging around, but
is it a decent one like that?
It's not quite in good condition. But
that's original box for it, isn't it?
Yeah. What have you got on that one?
55.
Yeah, it is in good nick, is that?
Oh, it is.
Have a good day, boss. Now, I'm not going to jinx myself this time by saying that I'm having to go back to the van to empty the trolley after only doing half of the field. Because last time I said that, when I got back in the field, I got bugger all. Another YouTube superstar.
I've just emptied.
I'm not surprised.
That were really heavy.
Ladies and gents, this is Pound Girl, Cheryl.
Hi. Yeah, there were 12.
12 Lacrosse sounds.
No, must have been the day for, and I got a teapot as well early on.
I don't envy the work that's going to have to go into.
I don't think it's that bad. I just had a look. I think they've been somewhere. They've got ash on them.
All right.
Like they've been near a barbecue or something, or a fire.
It might have been. Some people don't know what they've got and just abuse them.
You know, like on outside. Yeah. That's the worst bit. If they're mucky inside, that's easy. Yeah. Because they're non-stick.
Yeah.
So, but if they're on outside, and they're not too bad on outside, so it shouldn't be too bad.
Well, I don't know.
I had serious FOMO with your white one. So I'm like, right, I'm going to get some Lacrosse.
I'll do you a good deal.
If I do get them, it'll be next Wednesday. Cheers, pal. They're a good thing if you're in the speakers. Price them up.
Is that the brand, is it? AE?
Yeah. I found a pair that just been reduced from 700 to 350.
Yeah. What have you got on them?
I'll take 100 quid from. Look at that. See you later, pal. I'll see you soon, Dusty.
We got those, look. What have you got in the Xbox?
20 quid.
How much are these for discs?
50 pence.
They're working?
I ain't got a power package from a house clearing.
Oh, right, okay. You're 15?
Do 18.
Cheers. Cheers, pal. Tap.
Cheers.
Living like thunder. Right, I'll leave you to it, Ruff. Right.
What have you got in your Xbox, pal?
50 quid he wants for it.
Yeah.
He's off for a couple.
How's about the Xbox?
Sorry?
How's about the old
25.
one? So not too shabby a morning really at the Fitzwilliam car boot. I must admit though, I do run out of steam on the second trip round the field. That's probably why I don't pick up as much. It was certainly out there to be had. Still happy with the result from today. Not a vast quantity of stuff, but some decent margin in what I did pick up. So let's get it all home and have a look at what I did get. There is a pit stop on the way actually at a charity warehouse that I go to once a month. I usually do very well out of. So I'll see you a little bit later on today. And we are back home, fully revitalised and batteries recharged because, of course, I've had my customary nap. And only a crazy fool would underestimate the power of a good nap. Now, I actually didn't think I did very well today at the boot sale, but I'm actually quite surprised. And it's my kind of day because the pickups have been relatively few, but the value in them has been absolutely top notch. But today's video, I'm going to get all interactive on you because today there's been a bit of a double story going on. Obviously, this morning I was at the Fitzwilliam car boot, and just to give you a quick flash, they are the pickups. But on the way back, I did my monthly visit to a charity warehouse that look after me very, very well, and I look after them equally as well. And that, a quick look, is just the staggering haul from there. So the reason I'm saying this is going to be interactive, obviously I'll do my usual take you through what I picked up from the boot sale and how much I'm expecting to list it for. But just on the end of that, what I'll do and what I thought would be a bit of fun is I'll tell you how much I paid for the charity shop haul and take you through it, and I'll let you decide whether it was money well spent. Right, so let's get into it. Well, as you can probably imagine, this isn't going to take long to get through at all. So ignore the racking poles at the back. Now today, I am one of 3 resellers in that field who did really, really well with Le Creuset for different reasons. So big shout out to Peter Zabinski and Pound Girl, Cheryl. Really, really impressively actually, Pound Girl had picked up, I think she said 11 or 12 Le Creuset pans. All in, they look like they were in quite ropey condition and it needed a lot of TLC. But I mean, these are cast iron pans and she managed to get all of them in a pram with a daughter. And I've never seen anything like it. It was amazing how that thing was, the wheels stayed on that thing. I'll never know. So big props to Pound Girl and Peter, who picked up a really, really nice brown set. Anyway, back in the room, the first Le Creuset pan I picked up was this frying pan. It's a 27 centimetre and wooden handle. I mean, it's been a good long while since I've sold any Le Creuset items apart from a ceramic casserole dish. I think, or I'm led to believe, that the wooden handle ones are the preference. I think because pans like this, aside from the fact that they're an extremely well-known brand and they're extremely good quality, I think the type of people that are buying these for sort of like more farmhouse look, and I think that's why the wooden handles seem to be the preference. It does need a bit of a degunge, and I think it's lost a bit of its sticky. These clean up really, really well. I think that's probably why they're so popular. They're so durable. This frying pan, the listing value is £45. 2 saucepans, both in pretty good nick. Again, the larger of the two, which is a 20 centimetre saucepan, obviously both got the lids, is a bit ropey. These do come up, and again, props to Pound Girl. She's sent me a link to where you can clean these up. It's something to do with bleach and sunlight that gets these looking like brand spanking new. So I shall be definitely taking that advice. A couple of chips in the bottom of those, but again, it doesn't affect the value too much. The 20 centimetre saucepan, listing value on that is £40, and the 16 centimetre saucepan, listing value £35. Now, I did actually question myself about this one, and it was I took some advice only after the fact, because this casserole pot, it's a 24 centimetre, again Le Creuset. It looks like it's in pretty minging condition, but I think it's mouldy inside, and I think this is just cooking detritus. It's had food burnt on the bottom, and again, these can clean up really nicely. But obviously, on the face of it, I just saw the condition of it, and I thought, my God, that's going to be a lot of work. And I'm not into massive amounts of work on the stuff I picked up because time is the most precious commodity. But I'm glad I did, because it's going to be worth the effort. Compared to the other pans, I paid very, very little for this one on its own, and once it's cleaned up, the listing value on that is £80, and I've every confidence. I mean, there is a little bit of paint wear on the handles, as you might expect, but aside from that, a lot of this gunge is just general kitchen gunge. It feels like it's been left on top, you know, that sticky horribleness that you get there when you leave stuff on the top of the kitchen cupboard. That might just be me being grungy. I'm not actually grungy at all. But I'm pretty confident that most people know what I'm talking about when I said that sticky nastiness on the top of kitchen cupboards is pretty unavoidable, and even if you're really clean. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. I'm not a minger, I swear I'm not a minger. And you're back in the room, Dave. So this one's cleaned up. The listing value I put on it is £80. Now, here's a top tip that I can't remember where I picked this up from, but I'm more than happy to pass it on to you. I saw this glasses case. It's said Karen Millen on it, which so I recognise the brand Karen Millen, so it pricked my ears up. It isn't actually what's in it. It's these, I mean, quite old looking Feeler is the brand glasses. I mean, Feeler is a pretty run of the mill brand. I mean, obviously it's very well heard of, but it's hardly sort of like high end. But the reason you need to be picking these up is because of the frames. It doesn't matter at all that the lenses, they look like quite a strong prescription, these, and they're quite scratched. Doesn't matter in the slightest, because the people who buy these on eBay are after the frames. They're after branded frames, because they'll have their own prescription lenses put in them and save themselves a fortune buying designer frames from an optician's. So definitely be on the lookout for designer glasses with or without lenses, because even though this is sort of like a lower end brand, the Feeler, like I say, the listing value on those is £15, and you can often pick frames up for very, very little money. I used to pick these up all the time, but I haven't come across any in a while. Oversized dice, the bigger the better, as long as they're solid, and if they've got unusual features like the spots on these are brass inlay, but a large oversized solid wooden dice, definitely be on the watch out for them, because again they're usually quite cheap, and in this case there's recent precedent on eBay for the comps on these. In these cases, these two dice obviously being sold together, listing value £20. Nice standard pickup. It's going to be worth my while sourcing a remote for this. This is a Samsung Blu-ray 3D Blu-ray player. The model is the BDE6100. It's in a little bit of tatty condition. The casing's it is a bit scratched. I mean, nothing excessive. A lot of that will probably be solved by having a decent wipe down. I've got a HDMI cable I can bundle with this, but it didn't actually come with a remote. Fortunately, because of that, it helped my negotiation powers, so I paid very little for it. And the listing value on that, I will be sourcing at least an aftermarket remote for this. Listing value I put on this is £35. Now I can't help but pick up these Gingerbread Man cookie jars because I think they're really cool looking. The price has come down quite a bit on them since I first started picking them up, so much so that because of the increased chance it's going to get broken in the post. Certainly posting stuff like this makes me a little bit nervous for obvious reasons. I mean, I've damaged enough of these while I've been in the bloody storeroom. So on the risk to value scale, this is probably something that I'm not going to be picking up again in the future. Again, something I paid very, very little for. Listing value on that, £15. Now these boots are absolutely stunning. They're Adidas Messi 15.3 built to win. Size is a 6.5, actually smaller than I'd like, because obviously that's more of a youth size or a female size, but they're in absolutely spanking condition. The fact that they're still in the box, and they look like, I would go so far as to say these have never been worn. There's not a scuff on the studs. So these will be getting sold as brand new. And in spite of the relatively small size, listing value on those, £30. Probably pick up of the day, assuming it works of course, this Xbox One, 500 gig I believe is the hard drive in these. It came with nothing at all, but because of that I paid very little for it. I've certainly seen these consoles with more wear, but this has got a bit of scuff into the case. It's not gungy, so I don't think it's had too hard a life. I'm going to need to source everything for this. HDMI cable, power cable, controllers. I picked up some games actually from the charity shop that I went to after the boot sale to bundle with this, just sort of like bog standard FIFAs and just to bolster up the listing. But like I say, pay very, very little for this. I'm going to assume it works at this point, and the listing value I'm going to put on it is £90. That's probably the higher end for this model of console, unless I can pick up some very cheap controllers with it, maybe put a couple with it and a few extra games just to again build up the listing. But because of the time of year and because of the console, I'm more than happy just for that to sit in the stock rooms closer to Christmas, where this will fetch a very, very pretty penny. But as it stands at the minute, listing value I've put on it is £90, and I apologise if I've just repeated myself. Now I think it's a Mr. George Ross I've got to thank for the hiking boots tip, because I wouldn't have generally looked at them, because more often than not when you see them at boot sales at charity shops they just look tatty as hell and minging. But it's just, you need to, with walking boots, you need to look past the obvious. These are going to clean up, they're going to be able to polish them and make them look very presentable for the pictures, and with very little exception walking boots are really good news. They can range from bread and butter kind of values up to really, really good values, but usually if you're paying very little for them, you're going to get a return on them. The brand on these is the Brasher Boot Company. So Brasher Boots is what I typed in to check the comps on these. They're a decent size as well, at a size 8, my size. Bought them off a very nice lady in the field, and the listing value on those, £40. Now this is a lot of Duplo, even for me. I actually much prefer picking up Duplo. I've stopped picking up loose Lego, the standard Lego, altogether now, because it's just a pain in the chuff. It drives me nuts going through it. It takes for ages, and the return compared to the effort that goes into it, it's just not worth it for me. Duplo is a different kettle of fish, because it's a lot easier to check, because the bricks are a lot bigger. You can usually tell by feeling them at a quick glance that they are Duplo. You're not actually zooming in for really tiny writing or really tiny logo on the smaller bricks. So a lot easier to sort. There's a hell of a lot of figures in here as well. Relatively speaking, for the whole lot, I paid up a little bit. There's a couple of bits and pieces that aren't Duplo in there, but it's like 99.9% Duplo. Like I say, relatively speaking, I did pay up for these bundles, but I'm going to split this out. First I'm going to take all the figures out, sell those separately, and then all the vehicles, bricks and accessories and everything else I'm going to bundle. Now I'm conservatively estimating I'm going to get 6 bundles out of these 2 boxes, and each of those bundles will be getting listed for £20, and depending on how many and the nature of the figures, I'll put them into sets. I mean, there's different pieces. There's Pegasus in there, there's farmyard animals, there's all different kind of figures in there, so I'll put them into groups of relevant figures and then split those out as well. But for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to add the bundles, the 6 bundles at £20 to the final figure. On the subject of totals time, here we are. So total spend today was £105, and for that I picked up 13 items, and the total listing value for all those 13 items is £490. Now, as I always do, just to qualify those listings, the values that I mentioned there are plus postage, and of course they're gross listing values, so there's still eBay fees to come off that, and obviously money to put aside for the tax at the end of the year. Now, I'm very confident that all of these items are pretty fast sellers, with the exception of maybe the Xbox, which I'm going to price high because of the time of year. Obviously I'm thinking about my Q4 stock at this point, but on the off chance that I'm absolutely wrong and there are the odd bits and pieces that are going to be longer tail and we sat on the shelves a bit longer, I may reduce price over time, accept offers, that kind of thing. So as a snapshot in time, right at this moment, that is my gross listing value. Now that's it for the boot sale side of life, so let's just have a bit of fun now, shall we, with the other stuff I picked up. As I said, I'm going to take you through it. I'll tell you how much I spent in total, and then just go through everything quite quickly. I won't keep you too long. And at the end of it, I'll just leave it to you guys to decide whether it was money well spent or not. So if you stick a comment in the comment section below, whether you think I've made a wise move spending this much money on all this stuff or not, then let's see what you guys think. Right, let's get straight into it. I have no idea how many items there are here. There is just a lot. Now this is a location that I go to once a month. Like I say, I have a very special relationship with them that I've cultivated over a number of years. They're absolutely amazing people, and of course I treat them like they're made out of gold. Anyway, I'm waffling, so I'm going to get into it. First up, I know we're coming to the end of the season now, but I picked up these 2 really nice condition sun loungers, both matching, both very good condition. They're not the cheap and cheerful George ones. They're actually steel framed and fabric rather than the cheap and nasties. In the first box there's a few of these different tops and pants and whatnot, which originally came on clearance from a major sports clothing retailer. All of them, with very little exception, have slight defects. They might have been dropped in the store and stood on, so it's a predominantly very light coloured tops where these are concerned, or they've been marked. Like this one's got a bit of pen on it. So we've got night hoodies, all new with tags, still retail prices on them. A couple of Guess hoodies. What else we got in this box? Nice pair of Reshirt motorcycle boots that look to have had very little use. I think this is actually one complete set from one rider, a lady rider by the looks of it, because there's a really nice 2-piece Frank Thomas leather suit in here, lady size 12, pants and jacket. Now how cool does that look? That is a really nice suit, and again had very little use. Somebody's taken the knee armour out of that, unfortunately, but not too concerned because it'll sell on the strength of, well, the brand and how good nick it's in. What else we got on this Pot. Not checked the comps on a lot of these actually. I've just got them because they're cool looking and I paid very little. So this is a New York Rangers bobble hat or pom-pom hat, whatever you want to call it. New with tags. I think that's that for that box. Also, the boxes that come in handy as well. Next up, these absolutely, you guys probably know by now if you're familiar with my videos how much I love Doc Martens. They're just tremendous. But these are a vintage pair of Oxblood Doc Martens, UK size 11. Unfortunately, not the made in England ones. These particular ones are made in Thailand, but still not too fussed about that. You can normally tell with Doc Martens, particularly on the heel, the bobbling gives the wear away, and this has still got lots and lots of bobbling on the heel, so these have had very little wear in spite of the fact that they're a little bit gungy. These will polish up really nicely. 2 of them, obviously. I love the Doc Martens. Now these are, I'll tip them out into the box actually, probably make it easier. I picked up this bag, in fact I think this is the first of 2 bags of these toys, and I picked them up because I just had an inkling of a memory of somebody telling me about them. There's a mixture. We've got obviously Ninja Turtles, lots of. We've got Power Rangers, the Morphing ones. These are all decent brands as well. They're Bandai and they're 2005, so not quite vintage. So that requires a little bit of research, and they'll obviously be getting bundled. So that's that for that box. What else have we got? We've got a pair of nice Levi jeans. You guys will remember my tip on Levi's. When you're looking at vintage Levi's, more so the shirts and jackets, but if you check the red label, if it's got a capital E, they're true vintage Levi's. Watch out for the capital E on the red tags because they can go for crazy money. These are the model of 511 and these are a 30 waist 32 leg. Next up, a Wii Bundle. One thing that did sell it for me on the Wii Bundle, just having a quick look through, it's all complete there with controllers, nunchucks, accessories and whatnot. But one thing I was looking for in the games, Mario Kart Wii, probably the best seller of the Wii games, and I've got a couple of steering wheels I can bundle with that as well. That's very likely to be getting sold separately. Now the rest of the games, nothing majorly special, so the rest of them will get bundled with the console itself. And in the same box, I just left them all in. We've got some media titles. Some of you guys that are more au fait with media titles will know about these. I don't know. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I really have to dig deep into media to find any value at all. The times that I have come across anything of value as far as console games are concerned is really few and far between. So here's Spider-Man, Time Crisis 2. There's a sort of like inkling of a memory that Time Crisis games are worth something. Nintendo DS and Mummy, PSP games, FIFA 06, Pirates of the Caribbean, SpongeBob and Lego Harry Potter. More media titles, PS4, FIFA 19, Harry Potter for the Xbox 360, SSX Tricky, I've got one of those listed on its own, PlayStation 1 V-Rally, PlayStation 1 Stuart Little 2, a sealed Shadow of War, PS4 Destiny 2, PS4 Just Cause 3 and FIFA 18 PS4. And Nintendogs for the DS, SmackDown Raw 2006 PSP and Crash of the Titans for PSP again. Also in this box, something that I've heard a few people mention, paperweights. Don't know anything about them at all, so I just chuck that in the box to research it. Not sure if it's anything special. There's no branding marks on it or anything like that, or certainly nothing I can see with my naked eye. So might be worthwhile setting that aside to do a bit of research on. A nice Loris watch, water resistant. Stuff like this will do really well at Christmas. The battery still works on it. It looks absolutely spanking new. These would obviously originally come with a manual. No manual with this, so it may have been worn. Usually the telltale sign is if it's still got the bit of plastic on the back cover, but it's working anyway, and it will be getting listed as the battery's bit, I don't know how old the battery is. If you're one of the fortunate few that are a member of the ABL Reselling Community Facebook group, which is now closed to new members at the moment to keep it nice and friendly, I heard someone mention Folio Society books, and I picked this up because I think it looks amazing. I didn't actually know until I opened the front cover. This is the Black Death. It's in exceptionally good condition, and it just looks like, I'd be tempted to read this myself if it wasn't for the fact that I don't want to ruin the spine. But the top tip that I got is that books by the Folio Society are definitely worth checking the comps on, particularly when you're looking at book box sets. Some of them can go for into the hundreds of pounds, so definitely watch out for that. In this case, I did check the comps on this particular book. It's not quite that high, but certainly a very, very, very decent return on it. Next up, pair of women's slip-on Lacrosse shoes. I know that Lacrosse aren't the be-all and ends-all when it comes to brands, particularly where shoes and clothes are concerned, but I thought these would go pretty well in the listing. Aside from a little bit of storage wear, nothing significant. They're brand new. That's those. Something I did check the comps on. I do like baseball caps. I do like to have one on my own, but these are Ed Hardy baseball caps, new with tags. I don't think there's a price on them. Now, I know I'll probably be shot down for saying this, but these look really chavvy. I mean, they're cool if you're into that kind of thing, but hey ho. They've both got their hologram stickers on. Cool looking stuff. So I did check the comps on these, and I think, without trying to ruin this game for you, I think the comps on these are around about the £25 each. And a couple of used hats, Cowboys. I'm assuming that's the Dallas Cowboys. These are really good quality feel hats as well. Although they haven't got the tags, they do actually look brand new as well. PSV, not sure what that relates to if I'm totally honest. It says 100% football, so I'm assuming that's another sort of American football team perhaps. One thing that might turn out to be a bit of a fail, unless there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of these Wade Pottery pigs. I know Wade Pottery is a brand that is very, very popular, but I know the price on them fluctuates quite a bit. Now, I believe in this set of piggy banks, it's a set of 5, but there's only 4. Yeah, definitely only 4. There's only 4 in there. I won't get them all out, just show you a couple of them. There's only a 4 in these. These have obviously they've not been used, they've just been used for display. And if you have a complete set of 5, you're probably looking around about the £70 mark. Not sure about these, and because it's not a complete set, I might end up selling them individually. I'll decide when it comes to listing on that anyway, but they're Wade Pottery piggy banks. It's the other bag I mentioned. And a couple more titles, Xbox One, FIFA 17. In fact, that and those are what I'll probably bundle. Oh, there's a couple of FIFA 17s here. I'll bundle those with the Xbox One I picked up from the car boot sale. Fable for Xbox Original. Now these were more interesting. These are Morphing Power Rangers. My kids used to have something similar to this when they were little, and I'm too heavy-handed for these. I need to employ a young person to sort these out into their original forms for me, into the vehicle and animal forms, because I'll just snap them to pieces. There's a few different sizes. Recognise that? Is it Bumblebee? Yep. So there's a few different items in there. I recognise that guy. That's an Optimus Prime for sure. I think that's one of the bad guys. Anyway. So there's a few to go out in there. Again, thinking more about my Q4 stock. What else we got in here? Really cool looking Phillips DVD player. Picked that up because it's unusual. Probably not much value in that, to be honest, but it's HDMI and it's compact. So obviously when you're listing compact DVD players, then you're mentioning keywords like ideal for a caravan, camper van, that kind of thing. Next box, some brand new K-Swiss trainers. Still got the retail tag in there, 55 quid. Really cool looking. Not sure on the size actually. I might keep these myself. Oh, 10, too big. Brown suede K-Swiss trainers. Unfortunately, very, very small, but again, another set of Doc Martens. These are black suede fur lined. They look brand new. In fact, they are brand new. I'd definitely sell those as brand new. Might need to give them a bit of a brush to get those storage marks off. Size 3 though, a bit unfortunately sized for me, but even so, Doc Martens, swing. Lumix FX3 camera. Some digital cameras still hold a value, particularly the higher megapixel ones. This comes with quite a few accessories, its charger, nice little case, software and whatnot. Not get it out, but it is in really good condition. Lumix DMC FX3, sorry. Okay, some clothes. You'd have thought I'd been sick of the sight of clothes by now, wouldn't you? Used Adidas tracky top, size medium. Looks new, this. Hugo Boss t-shirt, just a bog standard one in a small. Nike Air tracky top, decent size that one. That's an XXL. Like I say, as far as authenticity is concerned, I'm very confident on like 99% of, well, in fact, all of the new items and 99% of the used ones, because I know the source. They come from a big name high street sports retailer. So nice big logo on the back of that Nike Air top. What else we got? Brand spanking Nike Adidas, Adidas tracky bottoms. Now these are items that I need to do some digging in, because I've been told they're original, but with stuff like this, I just never take anybody's word for it, regardless of who they are. These are Radley bags. There's 1, 2, 3 that handbag. I won't get them out, but they're different styles of handbags, three lots. So I will do my due diligence on those and check they are genuine. Next, DKNY. I think this is another watch actually. This is again new with its manual in the box. It's quite a funky looking thing. In fact, I'm not entirely sure if it's new or not. I'll do some more digging anyway. But this is quite a cool bracelety looking one. Stuff like this will go well, really well at Christmas. Canon camera. This is a Canon Sure Shot Telemax. Very good, decent condition that as well. Moving swiftly on. Adult size wetsuit. Now the top tip I've got as far as this type of item is concerned isn't about this item. It's obviously a wetsuit, probably reasonably low value. It's the Crane Surf one actually, so I think even brand new, I think if memory serves, this is going to have been from, it's an Aldi brand. Aldi bring Crane stuff in, so probably quite low value on this, but still value nonetheless. But the top tip I've got for you is dry suits while we're on this kind of subject. Always check the comps on dry suits if you come across. In fact, if you see them at car boots, just stand on them until you check your comps, because I learned this from very painful experience. Fortunately, it's somebody who's a member of the ABL reselling community group that benefited from this. But I walked past a dry suit which I think was being sold for, can't remember off the top of my head, it was maybe £60. Didn't know anything about it, walked straight past. I think I might have asked the price, but because he said 60 quid, I just walked on. One of the other people from the group did actually go for it, and that £60 investment turned into, I think it was something like £950, and that was cheap at that. So dry suits, guys, just grab onto them, lie on them if you have to while you're checking the comps. Obviously that's a wetsuit and a different thing, but if you benefit from that dry suit tip, then I want to hear about it. Okay, next up, Tommy Hilfiger jacket. This is a size large. Next, the first of 3 Barber jackets. This isn't a waxy one, this is more of a sort of like a hikey type jacket, if you will. Very nice indeed. Size large. Another more traditional Barber wax jacket. This is a medium. Almost instantly recognizable, these jackets. And a large again. These are all in just fantastic condition as well. In fact, this feels like it's brand new. They look really well when they used the Barber wax jackets, but when they're as squeaky clean as this as well, you can feel the waxiness to them. Obviously Barber, a really top brand to watch out for. Right, we're on the home straight now, guys, and it's the last box of clothing. This is a pair of Hugo Boss shorts. I'm going to have to again do my due diligence on those. No tags, no box, and no recommendation. They look in really nice condition and they feel very good quality, but I will be doing my digging on those. And I think all the rest of this box is from the high street sportswear supplier as well. We've got Hoodie Money is the brand. Not familiar with that. Retail price is 50 quid. I've sold a couple of these tops from the last batch I got from that charity shop. This is Hummel short sleeve sweatshirt. Now this is cool. Again, this is another Money hoodie. What's the retail price? So it's 40 quid on that one. But this is massive. I think this is a 3XL, but it's got a really cool vinyl graphic on the back. So that's that one. Again, like I say, a lot of these tops have been marked whilst on display or in the stock room, but I'm mentioning that on the listings as well. It's devalued them slightly, but I'm still selling these through quite well. A nice large Levi's sweatshirt. Retail on that was 55 quid. Nike logo top. Retail on that was 45 quid. That's size medium. Got new with tags Nike tracky bottoms. There's a couple of pairs of these. Some off-white Nike. Do you say Nike or Nike? You don't say bike and bikey, do you? I'm gonna go for Nike. Yeah, let's go for Nike. So these are off-white tracky bottoms, Nike. And what have we got here? We've got Anthony Murato. Don't know anything about Anthony Murato. It was just the decal on the front that attracted me to it. This is a size smaller and the retail on it looks like 50 quid. It's kind of a thin sweatshirt, that. So if any of you guys are familiar with Anthony Murato, then give me some info. And last but not least, Russell Athletic. Again, it's another brand that I haven't heard of. It looks like a size small. So there we have it. Now I know there was quite a bit to go through, but this is where I want you guys to get involved. And I've just noticed I've got a massive red FOD from the GoPro. Now the total spend for all those items was £445. So let's have a bit of fun with this. What do you think all that is worth? I'm not asking you to do my work for me. I'm not being lazy or anything like that. I have a really good idea what I'm going to be listing all these items for, but I just thought it'd be a bit of fun to get you guys involved. So hit me up in the comments below with your estimation of what all that's worth, and we'll go through and see who's closest to the figure that I get. That's me for this video today. If you've got any form of enjoyment out of it, any useful tips and any kind of value whatsoever, please give the video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel, helps me reach more people. I always say that if by sharing my experiences it empowers people and helps people with their own reselling journey and perhaps helps them pay the bills or get themselves out of financial trouble or something like that, then that is absolutely blows my mind. And stuff like that is a reason I do these videos anyway, is to endeavour to help people. And a thumbs up would help. I'm sure you already are, but if you're not already subscribed, smash that subscribe button and click in the notification bell. Will give you a notification of next time I post a video up. Thanks very much indeed for supporting the channel, guys. I really do appreciate it. I've been Dave Keeffe, you've been amazing, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.